So hi, today we are going to discuss a very important concept in Java. So that is known as OOP, Object Oriented Programming. So in Java, this is object oriented programming is very why it is important because to organize code. Once we can see how what are the types of the object oriented programming we have in the Java, four pillars of the OOPS concept we have in the Java. Once you see that, you can understand, oh, this is the organization of the code. If you organize the code, that is very looking clean and very effective code that we are making, like that you can. Yeah, why this name is coming to picture object oriented, because we are going to deal each and everything with the help of the objects only, because in Java we have everything in classes. To use the classes, we definitely want to make objects, so that's the reason that is known as object oriented programming. So if you understand what are the programming languages, types of programming languages in the world, all the types are kept in here so that you can understand what is the difference between object oriented and what are the other types of the programming languages other than object oriented programming languages. So if you see procedure programming languages, in this we have C Sharp, Java, Pascal and some other programming languages we have. So like that we have functional programming languages, you can read over there. So we have object oriented programming, scripting, logic. So if you see in the object oriented programming languages, we have C++, Java, Python. In the scripting languages, we have JavaScript and PHP and some other languages. Now you can get it out why in the procedural language we have Java and in object oriented programming language we have Java. So why only this Java has both the kind of procedural and object oriented programming language. So let's understand. So what is meant by procedural programming and what is meant by object oriented programming. So in object oriented we have everything in classes. So that is the reason we need to make class. For the class we need to make objects. So for the object we can call these methods. For this object also we can call methods. Like that for every object we can call its methods in the class and we can use the methods. So this is the reason Java is known as object oriented programming. So this procedural programming is also known as POP, procedural programming language. So this is not that much compared given importance in the society now in the market. Now in the market only object oriented programming language they are all doing. So this is not nothing but anything. It is the type of the type of code that you are organizing. That is nothing but how you maintain the function. This is the way that you are maintaining the functions. So this is known as POP, procedural programming language. So the next, if you observe in the OOPS, we have four pillars. I have already mentioned that. So we have encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction. So these are the four pillars of OOPS. Other than these four, we have some other types also. So the first, if you learn these four, automatically you will get to know about those things also. So first of all, in this video, we are going to see encapsulation. This is very important and easy as well, because we have already covered these kind of concepts in the previous video only. That is in the constructors video. So if you did not watch that video, please check out the playlist that I am giving in the iCard or in the description box. So you can get that constructors video. So in that constructor video, we have discussed about what is getters, what is setters, and what we have discussed public and private variables. So that is the very important concept for this encapsulation. So if you observe in the object oriented programming, we have four types now only I said. So each type of concept deals with what? So encapsulation deals with the data security, inheritance with the inheritance and polymorphism deals with code reusability, and abstraction deals with high complexity. So finally in this video we are going to discuss only in encapsulation. In the upcoming videos one by one we will see all the four concepts in the OOPS, so that you can be able to get an understanding about OOPS in Java. So if you see encapsulation, we have wrapped methods and data means here variables in a class. So this is known as an encapsulation. In our day-to-day life, we will take medicines, right? So that medicines will be of type capsule. So one side of capsule is methods. In general life, all thing will be powder, but it is divided into two parts. So that is the reason we are saying this encapsulation. We are encapsulating this with the help of methods and data. So no one from the outside the class cannot able to use our methods or our data variables in the variables. So I will show with the help of this code. I will also do normal code so that you can understand. First, let's understand with this code so that it makes some sense. So I hope you know the basic syntax of Java. So this is the normal class. This is the perfect class. So in this we have a method called main. This is very important. Here we are creating an object of A1 of type animal of new animal. So if you see the animal class, in the animal class we are declaring string of type. So this is a variable. So you can read of the sentence over here, that is private values, so cannot be accessed outside. So basically what is meant by this is you are always said to keep these variables as private, because without keeping private you might go on into some issues. So public string, so if you keep this in the private, you cannot able to access this directly here. So you see you are saying set type. So indirectly you can access this variable type. How can you access indirectly? You are going to call this set type. So in this class only we have something method called set type. So this set type will type the type of, here it will take the type and it will set the type. Sorry, it will get the type first. So if you want to set the type, it will set the type and it will set the type. So finally we are printing that. So basically this code says how you can secure your variables. So that's the important part of this. And we can also understand how we can able to indirectly access that type in this demo class. The code practically also, I highly recommend to watch the previous video. So constructors and getters, setters. So we discussed these things, constructors, getters, setters in this previous video. So in the previous video, constructor video, I have discussed getters and setters. So for understanding purpose, I will remove this constructor and getter setter. Okay, I will keep this object as it is. Now what I will be going to do, I will remove this one. So for your understanding purpose, I will remove this private and I will set this age as 20. Okay, I will keep the, I will also remove this name from here. So now I will show you what is meant by data theft. So if you see clearly over here, I will also make a function over here. So I will say public void. So I made some function known as show. So basically what this function will do, this function will print the show. So this function will print age. So you can see clearly we are just printing the age in the terminal. So without printing, so wait a minute, I will show one thing. So if you see clearly, you are going to set the age. So I will be going to say remove this one here. So so basically what I am trying to say is you have a class called students. In that we have a variable called integer age. So we are printing that age in the terminal. So that's no problem. So wait, I will not print also this one. So you are creating an object and you are trying to access the age. Okay, and you are trying to store in the result. Okay, with the help of this object, you created an object. With the help of this object of the type students, you are trying to access the variable age. So you are getting the age 20 here and you are storing that 20 in the result. So you can simply print that. So you can see that just I am accessing this variable with the help of this object, and if you try to print, wait, I'll clear the screen. So if you try to access that, see you are able to print this variable in the other class, not in the student class. In the other class, demo class, you are able to access the age with the help of this object. So you are able to get the age. But we don't want that, because in our day-to-day, in our real life, it's not good practice to do this age to declare here. So unfortunately you declared also. That should not be accessed here directly, because that's a sensitive data. Or if I say salary, if I'm making an application for the banking application, if I say salary, so the salary, this is a sensitive information. How can someone come here and suppose someone come here and say salary here? So someone can come here and they can simply see the salary over here, 200. So with the help of the salary variable, they can simply see the salary. So this is not recommended. This is not a good practice. That so you need to make all the variables, instance variables. So these are known as instance variables. You need to make all the instance variables as private. You are getting an error, okay, over the salary. If you hover that, it will show salary has private access in the students. So you cannot able to access that because this variable is private. So for this instance variable, you are setting that as private. So you cannot able to access the salary. So I will, for the understanding purpose, I will remove this age. Okay, you cannot access directly the salary. Okay, then how can you access that? Means one way to access that, that is known as getter and setter. So what is meant by getter and setter? So I will show with the help of the methods. So getter and setter is nothing but the methods itself. So I will make a function called, so first of all, getting the salary. So I will say I will get the salary. Okay, in the get the salary, so the getting the salary return type. So I will be going to return something. So I will say int, a public int get salary. So inside this, I will say return salary. So this works. Why this works? Because the salary is in the students and this get salary is also in the same class. So you can access this private variable no problem in because those are in the same class. You can access in this method get salary. So access this private variable in this salary. So you can simply call this get salary function in this here. So this is one method to get the salary here. So I will show you how to get that. So if you come here, now if you call object dot get salary function, if you call that, so this will be basically return type of int. So you are going to have a int result. Suppose you are going to show that result in the result. Yeah, you are not result, basically salary. So I will say it will be going to store in the salary, and I am printing that salary. If you see here, if I try to print that, success. So basically when you declare any variable privately, you are not going to access that directly in the other classes. Indirectly we can access that. So the indirect method is known as the getting method, getters. So these are known as getters. So with the help of these getters, we can get whatever we have in the private variables. We can simply get like this. So how many we have private variables, we can get all the values with the help of these kind of methods. So what if someone want to set the value? So we already set a private integer to 200. So you don't want this 200. So suppose your price has to increment it. So someone wanted to increment your salary. So then that time how can you increment? With the help of something called setters. So in this students in this students only we can create a function called setters. This will set the salary. You cannot set here because this is private variable. You cannot able to access here, but you can set here. So how can you set that? So called public. So as this is the setting salary, you are going to accept a integer. So called, or you can simply say salary. You are going to accept a parameter that is known as salary. So in this setter function, I will just say this dot salary. This dot salary is equals to salary. So with the help of this set salary method, we can able to set the salary. Suppose if I see how what is the setting or not. So simply I will say obj dot set salary. So I will say obj dot set salary. In this I will be going to pass an integer that is 200. So basically that will call this method and it will set this salary method. So after setting this salary, I will be going to call this. So after setting also you will be going to call this. Okay, so you can say salary 1 and salary 2. I hope you understood. Now here we will first print salary 1. Okay, so this salary 1, when we can print first we can print this salary 1. So basically what I did here, I just did nothing here. I will explain what I did. So basically you can see in the demo class, first of all I created an object of new students. Okay, in the students class I have a salary 1 variable. So I am directly accessing with the help of this get salary. So that is the main use. We are getting the salary. So the default value we will get. So salary is 200. So you said the salary 1 is 200 and it will print in 200 here. So that is known as getter function. So we can simply get the function and we will store and we will display. So the next one is known as setter. With the help of this setter method, we will able to set the salary. So here I am able to call with the help of this object. I am calling this function set salary. In that it is able to accept a parameter. I am passing this argument 200. So after passing that, it is setting the salary to our required value. Suppose if I say here, I will not pass 200, I will say suppose 1000, I will say. Okay, 1000. So I am setting 1000 increment to 1000. So salary 2 will be set with the help of this set salary. Okay, salary. So inside this set salary, we are going to pass 1000. So basically, I will type cash to int. So I will return this value. Okay, I will simply return this value. So that's the reason it is showing error. Okay, I will set the return type to int and I will return this value. After returning that, we will store that salary 2 in this and I will going to print this salary 2, not salary 1. So after that, we will be going to compile and run. So you can see first the default value 200 is printing because we have set the default value to 200. So with the help of this printing statement, it is printing 200 in the terminal. So after that, with the help of the set salary, we are setting the salary with the help of the setter. So it is setting salary to 1000. So we are printing successfully 1002 here. So you can see we are with the help of this private, we can simply with the help of getters and setters, we can set and get the value. So like with the help of this, the data is very secured and data. So you can see over here, we are securing our data with the help of this capsule. So that's the reason it is known as encapsulation. And you can see here also the same thing, we are declaring private. So you can read this here. So there is a shortcut to create getters and setter functions in the VS Code that is known as with the help of source code. You can simply right click, and go to source action. Here you can see all the things that VS Code can provide to you. You can see generate getter salary, generate setter salary. So it is saying generate getter and setter salary. So you need both getter and setter salary. So you can simply click here. So the VS Code will be going to automatically create this getter and setter functions for you. So this is getter and this is setter. And not only that, it can also provide the constructors. You can simply click and you can go to source action and you can explore all the things that is VS Code is providing here. So just now I have used the getters and setters. So other than that, we have constructors equals to toString. We have all the things, important things here. So like this, you can organize your data with the help of the encapsulation and getters setters function.